Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Monet here. So I just came from my appointment. That's why I have this hat on, y'all. I wore my hat, just threw it on my outfit today. So if you're wondering like why I have a hat on indoors, I literally just came in. But we're gonna hop into this video and talk about early pregnancy symptoms, how I knew I was pregnant, everything that I've experienced, and this is my third pregnancy. So these are some signs and symptoms that I noticed that are kind of repetitive when I do get pregnant. So, and I'm just going to be sharing with y'all what kind of cued me in or clued me in and let me know that I was pregnant. I just kind of did my little pregnancy announcement on the last video. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you go check it out. So yeah, this is my third time being pregnant, and I just want to share some of the symptoms, like my body's gearing up and I'm kind of like, hey, that's weird. But anyway, so the first symptom that I had with all three of my pregnancies, I don't want to say, well, yeah, I don't know if this was the first symptom, but this was kind of like the most prominent. So I got very tender breasts early on in pregnancy with my daughter Gia, who was my first pregnancy. She'll be 5 years old. I had tender breasts, and I just thought that, hey, I'm probably about to get my cycle, and because that sometimes happens, but it was like very pronounced, like tender everywhere. Like, if it's, sorry if this is TMI, but it is a pregnancy video. But it was tender everywhere on my breasts, all around, especially the areola area, and it was like painful to the touch. Like if my husband would hug me, or even just putting on certain push-up bras, it would be very kind of painful and sore to the touch. And I noticed that with this pregnancy as well. I'm currently 7 weeks at the time that I'm recording this, and I'm very tender. Bras hurt. Sometimes getting in the shower hurts. Taking my bra off hurts. They're very just sore all around. So that's definitely one of the more prominent symptoms that clued me in a few days before I took my test. So although I didn't have this particular symptom very strong with all three pregnancies, I've had it throughout all three pregnancies, and that was nausea. So before I wore food aversions to certain things that I would normally eat. So with this third pregnancy currently is very bad. But before I took my test, I noticed that I was craving certain things that I usually don't eat. Like I stopped eating spicy chips a while ago. And I noticed a day or two before I took my pregnancy test this time around, I bought a bag of Takis. Y'all know the little hot lime chips. So I bought a small bag of Takis, and I was like, ooh, that was so good. And I was able to get through the whole bag, and usually I'm not able to eat a lot of spicy chips and things like that anymore. I stopped eating it. So right after I ate that small bag, I bought a family size bag of Takis, and I finished the whole thing. And I was like, that was so weird. I was like, what the heck? And I also was like, I usually love certain things, and I was so like averted or turned off to normally what would be my favorite foods, which are coffee. Y'all, I can't drink coffee right now. It literally, I'm not digging it right now. Sometimes the smell makes me sick, and it'll just be random things, like maybe the smell of onions or soup, or some kind of soup or noodles. Like I was like, this is so weird. And lo and behold, I was pregnant. And that happened also with my first pregnancy. I was going into a fruit market, and for some reason, I guess they had the trash or the dumpster kind of near the front of the building or the store, and like the smell almost made me throw up. The smell of the fruit when I went inside the store was making me like sick. Like just, I was very averted to certain foods, and I was also attracted to certain foods that I normally wouldn't be attracted to. So to kind of go along with that, also I noticed like I was having sensitive smell. Like I told you guys, the certain smells were just so much stronger. Like before I found out I was pregnant this time, I opened the refrigerator and I could smell literally everything in there. And I know we can smell in the refrigerator, but y'all, it was so exaggerated. Like I can smell things that were wrapped up tight. And how I knew I was pregnant with the smell is that I was laying down next to my son. We were getting ready to go to bed. It was bedtime, and I had just changed his diaper right before we laid down, and the diaper smelled so strong. It's kind of like I was holding the diaper like over my nose. Like it was so strong, and I'm like, why does his diaper, it was just so pronounced. And I was like, oh my god, I think I'm pregnant. And also, like I said, with my first pregnancy, like I said, I was just averted to certain things. Certain things smell so strong, like my husband's deodorant, his cologne is like, is there like regularly, but when you get pregnant, it's like you can smell it across a room or something. Like, it's just really crazy. So that was one of my symptoms. Strong, sensitive smell to a lot of things, actually. So another symptom is having to go to the bathroom quite frequently and pee. So I noticed that before I took my test, I was just going to the bathroom, and I'm a coffee drinker, so I know that's kind of like, coffee can kind of have you go into the bathroom, but not like how I was going. Like, it was honestly like I was in the bathroom like almost every hour or every hour and a half, and I was just like running back and forth. Like, I was like, what is going on? I have to pee, and I hadn't been drinking an increased amount of water. So I was like, this is so weird. And I was like, oh, could be a pregnancy symptom, because I experienced this with my first pregnancy with my daughter and with my second pregnancy with my son, who's currently about to be 3 years old. I experienced that with both pregnancies, and so I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely could be a sign or symptom. Like, y'all, if you could be pregnant, you'll definitely be like peeing a lot more, like just having to pee all the time, no matter where I was. And it was so annoying because I would be trying to sleep, I get up in the middle of the night, gotta pee. Even if I emptied my bladder, I would have to pee. It was like you have this constant urge to go. Another symptom, early pregnancy symptom, cluing you in that you could be pregnant, is fatigue. Okay, so when I mean fatigue, I mean like you are tired. You need like naps. Like, if you know me, then I don't really nap. I kind of stopped taking naps after I had kids because I'm gotta kind of like always be up and doing stuff. But y'all, like, now I need a nap. And before I found out I was pregnant, it's so weird. The week before I found out, one day I took a nap, and that nap was like 2 or 3 hours long. And then I took another nap later on in the evening, which was like an hour. And then I was still able to go to bed after 2 naps. And I was like, oh my God, I am so tired. This is so weird. I was like, could I be pregnant? And I was also very tired with my daughter, but hers came like a little bit maybe down the road, like at 6 or 7 weeks. Like, I started to get more symptoms, but with this pregnancy, I felt everything so early. Like, I hadn't even taken the test yet. I don't even think I was 4 weeks, and I was getting all these crazy symptoms. Like, I had to take a break at doing certain things. It's kind of very hard for me. Like, fatigue means daily tasks seem so hard to complete, even like just, you guys, like sweeping and mopping, just different things, or even sometimes simple things like I have to get in the shower after I bathe the kids. Like, showering seems like a task. Everything seems so hard to do when you're fatigued. So if you feel like, oh my God, I'm literally dragging through the day, or I need naps, or I need breaks, then you could possibly be pregnant. And my last one that I can think of to share with you guys how I kind of knew that I was pregnant, I was having hot flashes and I was winded. So in my video where I shared or was talking about my son having Down syndrome and his journey through the NICU, at the end of that video I was very winded. Like, right now I'm kind of talking and I'm getting winded. I would do certain things around the house that I normally would be able to do, and I would notice I would get winded. I was like, that's weird. I would need to catch my breath more frequently. And also I was getting hot flashes. Now that definitely happens a lot just with me in general, but I noticed when I'm pregnant, the hot flashes and the cold flashes increase. So I was having on again, off again, hot, cold, and I kept having to adjust the thermostat, and I'm like turning it up and down, and it was so annoying, but that clued me into that I was pregnant. If you are having any of these signs or symptoms, then that means you could potentially be pregnant. So like I said, y'all, this is what I'm experiencing right now. I'm currently 7 weeks. I'm still having all the symptoms. My most pronounced symptom right now is nausea, and it's so sad because I love to eat. I am a foodie, and y'all, I can't really eat the kind of stuff that I want, and it's literally like right after I'm done being nauseous, then the hunger kind of just like caves in on me. Like, after the nausea, the wave of nausea goes away, it's just like now I'm left starving. So now I'm eating a lot of food, then I get nauseous again. So it's like it comes in waves, but I've never had this bad of nausea with my other 2 pregnancies. I just wanted to share with y'all symptoms that could clue you in and that have clued me in that I was pregnant. And like I said, this is my third pregnancy, so these are definitely some repetitive symptoms that I notice when I do get pregnant. Let me know in the comments what kind of, if you are pregnant currently, what kind of symptoms you've been having, or what do you normally do when you get pregnant? What clues you in? What tells you that you're pregnant, or what are you experiencing in early pregnancy? I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe, and see y'all next week. I hope y'all enjoy y'all week.